Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd Online Shop. I'm going to be creating the layout you see on the screen, and I'm going to be featuring products from Cocoa Vanilla Studio. Now this line of products comes from Australia and it's new to the Scrapbook Nerd, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I've selected the Legendary collection to work with, which I think is my favorite from all of their products. I absolutely love it. It has kind of a masculine, outdoorsy feel. Now here's what I've pre-selected from the collection for this particular project, and I'll talk more about it throughout the process. And I will also link up all these products below, as well as the shop, in case you're interested. Now in advance, I prepared a frame style foundation with 3 sheets of paper, and I gutted 2 of them, and you're going to see the paper I got from behind my foundation page. There is a tutorial on my channel where I do that, so I will link that up below as well. Now I'm going to show you a cut apart sheet. So I'm going to show you 2 actually. One of them is a full sheet, and this one I cut up. These collection packs come with 2 of each paper, and I'm in the habit of taking cut apart sheets and cutting one of them apart. I use them a lot for layering as well as embellishing. I'm showing you the other papers I have on my desk, and that yellow there was actually inspired by that one tiny piece of ephemera that says "Explore the Great Outdoors," which I absolutely love, because I'm kind of going with the neutrals here, but I'm showing you the collection pack. There really are some beautiful colors in this, as well as wood grain. I absolutely love it, and it's a really nice, thick, heavy paperweight. The paper pack also comes with that 6 by 12 sticker sheet, and I'm showing you 2 other packs of ephemera. That one there has these big sketchy words, really, really cool. And I also have this ephemera pack there. I'm showing you a few of the pieces, but the kit actually has 55 of them. And again, that paperweight's quite heavy with this, and I have enamel dots as well. Now I'm going to jump in and start preparing my foundation page. I'm showing you the flip side of that gray paper. It breaks my heart to use the boring gray, because the flip side are these gorgeous stars. I think it's the signature piece in the collection. It has all of the colors, but I used the other paper on a different layout, so it's not so bad. The gray worked better for this one. So I'm cutting down all of these pieces, and I'm creating myself essentially a layered photo mat, or what I like to call a mini foundation page. And you're going to see what I do with it in a moment, and I'm putting measurements for all of this on the screen. That blue and gray piece is going to serve as a second photo mat. You're going to see how it looks when I layer them all up. And also I decide at this point I want another layer. So I get out my Big Shot and I get out my dies, and this is from Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's from her Planners Essentials collection. I've been using this an awful lot lately. It's a planner page, but what I do is I use it as a layer, and I also use it for my journaling. Again, I got this at the Scrapbook Nerd. There are tons of them in the shop, so I'm going to link them up below as well. There are different ones, maybe not this one, but anyway, you'll see. I'm going to start adhering all of this down. You notice that I actually cut that planner page. I'm just cheating a bit. I want it to make it look longer than it really is. So I'm adhering this all together from the top down for no particular reason. You can do it from the bottom up as well. And you're going to see later on that planner page ends up being moved down a bit, because once I get all my layering going on, I don't have enough room for my journaling. I ripped the bottom of that yellow paper, and I used a tearing tool, but you don't need a tearing tool to rip. It's pretty easy. And now I'm adhering this yellow piece on top of the gray. I'm going to keep this mini page separate right now. I'm going to do my embellishing or play around with my embellishments first, and my title and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to talk about my title here, because I do want to have a big dynamic title on this page. I showed you 2 sets of dies. The bigger ones there are from Pink Fresh Studio, the Adore collection. And I know I'm missing an I in Staycation. I'll talk about that in a little bit. And the smaller ones are from Lawn Fawn. I think they're called Oliver Stitched Letters or something, and I'll link those up in the description box below as well. What I'm doing right now is creating a DIY thicker. So you can see I have the yellow eye there, and what I'm doing is adding 2 layers of scrap cardstock underneath it, and what it does is it creates a thick letter, like a thicker. I'm only using 2 layers because I'm using basil marshmallow cardstock underneath, which is quite heavy duty, but you can use cheaper cardstock and use more layers if you want. And if you saw closely, the cardstock that I put underneath the letters, it was full of glue and marks. Basically, it's past mistakes. I save my past mistakes to create pieces like this. The word week 9, those are only 2 layers. So basically you can create these with the thickness that you want. Obviously, I'm using die cut letters here, but you could also create this page by using thickers, your stickers and all of that stuff. But what I want to point out here, I guess, is that it's fun to mix up fonts. It does create a dynamic on your page. It's also fun to mix up colors in titles as well as sizes. So you saw there, I took my thing apart a bit and I basically removed the yellow, moved it down a bit, and I also ripped about 1/2 inch off the bottom. I just felt once I placed the title there that the yellow was just a little bit too predominant. So now I'm fooling around with that. I'm happier with that. I think mostly because it's less yellow on the top. I think that really helped give my eye a rest. And now what you're gonna see me do over the next little bit, you can see I've got embellishing all around me, is I'm gonna fool around with my embellishment. So I'm gonna create an embellishment cluster at the bottom right, the main one. That's where I'm working right now, starting with the bigger pieces, the cut apart sheets, and then the ephemera, and eventually I'll come in with the stickers, and I'll do a smaller embellishment cluster in the top left. I often do 2, and you can kind of create a visual triangle with something really, really small. In this case, my planner page in the top right could be considered, I suppose, the third element, the third part of my visual triangle. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's what I like to do. It's kind of what I often do, actually. I do fool around quite a bit with this. You're going to see me move pieces back and forth. I did decide pretty close right off the bat not to use those big sketchy titles that go with the collection. Not because I don't like them. Actually, I quite love them, but they're quite big. And my word staycation week 9 had quite an impact. And I felt like the 2 were almost competing against each other. So I decided to just zero in on my ephemera, cut aparts, and stickers. So again, I'm just playing back and forth, and eventually you're going to see I do make a decision. I also had to start and stop my camera quite a bit here. I was interrupted a few times, so I'm sorry about that. Anyway, at one point when I'm creating a layout and I've got everything loose on the page, I do have to start adhering. As much as keeping it loose serves me well for making decisions, at one point I do have to bite the bullet because it just starts getting too long. So that's what I'm about to do. I'm going to start, of course, by adhering the mini page to the foundation page, and I do that right in the middle. It ends up having kind of a top heavy look still because the photo is at the top of the page. I would like to point out as well, I have a large photo here, but that could easily be replaced with almost the same dimensions that I provided for this layout with 2 3.5 by 5 photos. So what I'm going to do is start adhering the title first, and then I'm going to come in with the embellishing. So that's where you see what I'm about to do actually. What I want to do is really center staycation underneath that photo. It kind of overlaps the photo a little bit, but not much. You can see why I needed to move down that planner page a bit. I don't have a whole lot to write for this story, but I do have a little bit, so I wanted room to write. I end up putting that best ever sticker underneath the word staycation. I like it better there than up top. It kind of keeps all the information around the journaling box because that is where I'll be putting my date. And now I'm going to put my favorite piece of ephemera, which actually inspired my entire color selection for this page, on foam adhesive just above the title. You saw I put the compass underneath that just above, and I'm putting this sticker that says "Let's Go" on foam adhesive as well. The pieces I used with foam adhesive, I did back them with a bit of scrap cardstock as well because I'm using foam squares and I don't want the ephemera or sticker pieces to kind of bow or buckle. That tag you see me putting in the top left, that's actually a sticker. So I'm putting that there, and I actually put it in between the photo mat layers. It's just, I like working with the layers when I'm adding embellishing. It adds texture and, I don't know, and visual interest. That piece of ephemera there that says incredible, I ended up snipping off one of the two banner ends, and I like that. And now I'm looking in that sticker sheet for a word to put in that planner page tab. At this point, I have loved this or love it, but it ends up being switched up for explore later on. You can see that Chester is really wanting some attention here. I'm not being mean, I promise. I absolutely love my kitty, but I really want to finish my page at this point, and he is all over me. So I'm looking for an enamel dot. I end up going with a darker one just in that tag there as opposed to a little string. I'm almost finished here once this is done. You're going to see I do get out my sticker sheet. I look around a bit, and the only thing I end up adding to this layout after I stop the film is I end up putting this little bear up in the top left corner. Maybe it was Chester's influence. Maybe I needed an animal up there in the top left corner. And I also did my journaling, of course, and that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be absolutely thrilled if you did. The same thing for my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec. Also, make sure you check out the Scrapbook Nerd Online Shop. They are getting new products all the time. They now have cocoa vanilla products. That is fantastic. Anyway, all the links for that are below. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.